to choose from all kinds of neat stuff.
Lungo filaccio, triste sartaccio.
The favorite foods of the house Hippo are chips, raisins, and the crumbs from peanut butter on toast.
Hi, folks. How's it going today? You're listening to the House Hippo Show. I'm Ethan.
I'm Duncan.
And this is a bi-weekly podcast, and more so a discussion about early 2000s Canadian television, and very specifically what we remember from that era of TV growing up. And with our first episode.
Yeah, this is our first episode, kind of like the pilot. If we were really thinking about this, we should have done a whole conversation about pilot episodes for our pilot.
Right, but oh well.
Oh, well.
Oh, well.
So what we're going to talk about, this is going to be a pretty chill, laid-back podcast for the most part.
So laid back, in fact, that I'm lying down right now.
Yeah. And
story.
I am reclined back in the chair, so sit back, get comfy. We're going to talk about some Canadian PSAs today, true trauma.
True trauma?
That comes from the Canadian PSAs.
Well, which one are we going to talk about first, Duncan?
So, I figured, you came in and you were talking about the TV.
Right.
The TV one.
The name of which
Smart
I cannot
as
remember.
You.
Smart as You.
I have the Concerned Children's Advertisers
This
Canada
guy.
YouTube channel up in front of me right now. So, Smart as You is the name of the PSA. I'll put in a little clip of it right here.
You can flick me on and off, and on and off, and do... Whoa, I'm getting dizzy. You see? You're smarter than me.
It is a long PSA at a minute long.
At least a minute long.
It's a minute and 2 seconds.
I just remember going to my grandmother's house. She only had YTV or Treehouse. And that was it for kids television. That was all I would watch. And I specifically remember this advertisement would come up all the goddamn time. And like every 3 or 4 shows, it would just come on, and it'd just be this horribly animated CG television. I bet the company that did it thought it was really good at the time, right? But it's this really weird looking CG television. It's just talking about hey, what you watching? Oh, you watching some TV there?
That's like a bang-on version of the voice.
Hey, what you watching there? Why don't you go outside and play some games? You shouldn't be sitting on your ass.
Basically, it would just scold you for watching cartoons, and I'm there at 3 or 4 years old,
I'm just a TV, I can't move.
I can't move.
Control me.
As it's moving, it tells you it can't move. Fucking lies.
You can turn me on and off and on and off, and oh boy, I'm dizzy.
Oh boy, I'm dizzy. Yeah, that advertisement was really memorable, and I just remember the line, all kinds of neat stuff.
All kinds of neat stuff.
And I think I say that. I subconsciously...
You say that a lot.
I subconsciously, know that it came from that ad, but, I don't really, I don't ever remind, for the longest time, I don't know where it came from. I'm just all kinds of neat stuff, you
Okay,
know?
So I'm on the Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
So this PSA originally came out in 1997.
Damn.
That shows you how long they run these PSAs for.
I was at least 3 or 4 years old and still seeing this advertisement.
Saw it, around into 2004, 2005.
Mm-hmm.
So they put their money into this, and they got the most out of it.
Nowadays, who cares? Kids don't go outside and play anymore. It's all about iPads and shit. Every kid's an iPad kid now.
Yeah.
Makes me sad.
I remember, our parents, when the iPad sort of started to come out a bit more, and you'd have those richer parents that just gave the iPad to their kids. They'd be like, "Oh, these are lazy parents," and now it's no, every parent
those
is
things
an
are
iPad
affordable now. It's you can buy an iPad Mini for $500, which is nothing really. It's a paycheck for me, but it's nothing for a lot of parents. It's oh yeah, why not? Go get my kid an iPad. He'll leave me alone. He can watch his Netflix or his Baby Shark videos. Man,
he can watch videos of Spider-Man spanking Elsa on kids' YouTube.
Oh my lord! I want Concerned Children's Advertisers to make a
on
follow-up to that to that TV ad, but it's an iPad that's moving.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you can put me down whenever you want. Hey, why don't you go outside or play with
a
those
stick.
Why don't you go play with a stick or some toys that your grandparents got you for Christmas? You haven't even taken them out of the wrapping yet.
Come on, Lego is still a quality
And
product.
the iPad walks over to the stack of presents under a Christmas tree, and they're covered in about 2 inches of dust. The kids, it was like
half open.
half open. And he's like, "Oh, Legos, fuck that." And you just see like,
this toy works with an app.
"Oh,
Never mind, I'm
cool,
gonna
never
use
mind.
this.
Wait a minute, a robot I control with an iPad? Totally rad, man."
See, not even gonna lie. Morgan and I have been watching Dragon's Den for the past week. So we've been watching season 13 that just came out on Netflix. And they have a guy on there, Lance, I can't remember his last name right now, but he was one of the guys who made Club Penguin.
Okay.
So he developed Club Penguin.
Okay.
And then, he worked for Disney for a bit when Disney acquired Club Penguin.
Right.
And then he just sold his shares of the company to Disney, and then Club Penguin went under.
We tipped that iceberg, boys. Anyway, go on.
And there were a couple toy products that came onto the show, and he sits on the board of Spin Master.
Okay.
So he has hands in the tech space and in the toy space, and he's like, I want to be pushing more in the toy space of like physical toy instead of in the tech space of tech integrated toys or anything like that. We need to be focusing on getting the kids out there and using their creativity and using their imagination and stuff like that.
Like, I remember being young and loving playing with like Legos and action figures and stuff like that. And nowadays, like, my girlfriend, for example, she invited me out to to a family gathering. She has a younger cousin, and all that kid does is fucking play on an iPad.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, like,
you know what I would have been doing?
I remember bringing my toys to family gatherings and shit and playing with them, right?
You
like,
know what I would have been doing if I had
boomer. Sound like a fucking boomer. I just realized, but it's true though. It's so sad to see all these.
The
kids
most that I'd be doing. You know what? One year I asked for a video camera.
Okay.
For Christmas, and I got a video camera, and it's the same video camera that I've had up until now.
Yep.
That HP one.
Yep, I've seen it. We filmed some stuff with that camera.
And that's all I wanted. And I wanted to film stuff. I wanted a digital camera that I could do stop motion.
I was the same way when I was a kid too. Yeah, it was just like that might have been
that was the perfect balance.
That might have been the only cool thing that I ever wanted, like cool technology thing for a while was like a camera. When I turned like 12 and 13, I was like, I need an iPod. I'm that lame kid at school that can't.
That doesn't have an iPod.
Yeah, or a phone. Like every kid had a phone by age 11 or something like that. Mind you, it was a BlackBerry, but I felt left out.
Yeah, exactly.
Regardless of that, looking back on that ad, it still kind of has relevance today.
It has you know what? I'd say it almost has more relevance today than it did when it first came out.
Only the context of watching too much television has been replaced with playing on your phone too much, being an iPad baby, that sort of thing. I really think the Concerned Children's Advertisers should come back with a new ad.
You know what? Like, even for me, I'm guilty of spending too much time on my phone.
Yeah.
And I can admit that. Like Morgan and my parents have both had conversations with me where they're just like, you're being on your phone too much. You're not being present. And I'm 100% guilty of that, and I can admit that, and I'm trying to do better at it.
Well, I'm proud of you. iPhones actually have a thing
your
you can
screen
look at,
time.
like an analytics thing or whatever, and
Yeah.
I've never bothered to look, but I'm sure it's something like maybe because I work all the time, I'm never allowed on my phone. I'm sure it's probably like 2 hours or something a day.
Yeah.
But honestly, they should remake that ad for today and just
They really
have it
should.
like here's my idea. Okay, yeah, they turn the TV, so it's that TV that gets turned off.
Yep.
All right, the kid starts looking at his iPad.
No.
All of a
it's
sudden,
the original TV, but it's like fucking dead. Like, it's got cracks in it. It's got dust all over it. It just looks sad.
Okay, even better then. All right, so this TV finally like craps out. Dad's banging on it or whatever, and all of a sudden the kid picks up his iPad. All right, and then that same face that was on the television, same voice appears in the office like, "Hey, what are you doing? Why are you picking me up? Why don't you go outside and play or something? Go pick up those toys you haven't touched in a couple months. Why don't you go hang out with your friends and go ride a bike or something? You know." And then the kid just turns the eye, like swipes to the next screen and just starts playing Angry Birds. And that's
and then it
that's the whole
pops up on. No, you know what? Then it pops up
Then
as
an
like
ad.
the face of the birds, or like as an
ad.
ad.
An ad comes down. It's
Within,
like,
yeah.
it's like, you're going to have to either go outside or pay 99 cents to get rid of all ads here. To get rid of me or something like that. That'd be
Or
pretty
spend your parents' hard-earned money on me.
Kid turns off the iPad, goes upstairs to his room, starts playing video games, boots up Fortnite. Right? Okay? Hear me out. Boots up Fortnite, starts
yep.
playing Fortnite, and he's, the TV in his room turns, like the TV turns on in his room, and it's the same face again. It's like, you can't get rid of me for long. You're gonna have to
I'm
go
back,
outside at some point.
motherfucker.
Huh? What?
I'm back, motherfucker.
I'm back, motherfucker. It's like, you can't get rid of me much longer. You're gonna have to go outside eventually. Whatever. He closes out the application the TV was on, or he turns on Fortnite. The character's face is the TV's face in Fortnite. It's like, I'm not letting you start this game until you go outside and play a little bit first. I just want to see a follow-up to that ad.
And then he turns that off and he turns on the Wii, and it's the Wii's fucking thing of like, you've been playing for an hour. Why don't you go outside? Because remember the Wii had that whole thing built in where it's like,
Absolutely
after
not.
you play, yeah, after
Absolutely
you played
not.
for
I do not
an
remember.
hour.
I do not remember that.
It was on like Wii Sports and like, you know, the proprietary stuff.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I never really played Wii Sports. I kind of had like, I played all the other shitty games that came out for Wii.
Yeah.
Right.
It was
Okay.
on like Wii Sports Resort, WiiWare, all those types of things.
Something like that. I don't see as many kids going out and playing anymore, and if they are, they're like 3 or 4 years old.
Well, I was,
But like,
weirdly enough,
I used to go out and play games
I was
all the time,
on
right?
Reddit, and they were asking convicts, what's the biggest change you've seen if you were locked up in 97 and you came out in 2017, what's the biggest change in society? And it said, we don't see people outside as much anymore.
Yeah,
there's
everyone's
there's no
inside.
like teenagers outside, you know, just shooting shit, smoking darts on the corner. There's no kids riding their bikes down the street, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, we could go into a whole political thing of like why we think this is and everything
Right.
like that. But that's
not the
beside
kind
the
of show
point, and
we're
that's
running
not
here.
what this
Yeah.
is. This is supposed to just be talking about
What
the media itself.
What I think though is like that PSA kind of, I feel like we failed the TV.
we did.
We failed the TV. I think the Concerned Children's Advertisers should come back and make an ad like that again for modern day. That'd be
Yeah.
pretty funny if they did.
I wonder what their most recent
with the same character.
With
all
the
right?
exact
How
same
many
character.
people, guys our age, all right, are gonna remember that? But
Yeah.
kids nowadays, if they're even watching TV, you know, it would work really well, I think, as like a YouTube ad, like a, you know, an unskippable YouTube ad that's like a minute
Wow.
long.
Concerned Children's Advertisers. So the people who did the
ad we
Smart
were
as
just
You,
talking
House
about.
Hippo,
Yeah.
Do Your Thing, all the ones that we're probably going to be talking about today.
Duncan just
They're-
spoiled the whole episode.
Yeah,
it's okay
sorry.
to click
their,
off now.
Their
No, I'm just joking.
their last ad run that they did was in 2010, and it was the Media Monkey.
Yes, I remember we talked about the Media
We
Monkey.
talked about the Media Monkey when we were sort of planning out what to do for episodes and stuff like that. The Media Monkey was really weird, but I think it was great because it was also, it wasn't just, you know, a television ad. They had like posters up in subways. Like I remember, weirdly enough, Fan Expo. I went to Fan Expo with my dad.
Right.
Good couple years back.
Like good decade ago at
Good
least.
decade ago. Yep. And there was a Media Monkey poster up
Okay.
in the convention center.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't quite remember what the message of that advertisement
It
was.
was to think about what you're consuming. So the Media Monkey, if I go over a brief synopsis here, a girl is first shown reading a book with pages torn out of it by the monkey in a sailor suit, and shows the girl entering a contest on the computer. The monkey returns and unplugs the computer, and they fight over the TV. The PSA ends with the message, "You don't need a Media Monkey to make healthy choices. Think for yourself." So it was the same sort of idea as the Smart as You ad, but I
Right.
think it was just brought to the next level of think for yourself, think about what you're consuming. and think about what media you're consuming and stuff like that, which was a cool idea.
Right.
And I think that leads even more. They were going at it from the side of objectifying people and everything in advertising.
I see. Yeah.
And stuff like that. But I think even more now, like bring that back as think about the news that you're consuming. Think about say that type of side and sort of.
Even still, we have a bunch of body positivity going on in the world now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there is also a lot of fat acceptance. Now, this is probably going to get me in a lot of trouble.
Oh boy.
But look, listen. Losing weight and maintaining a healthy weight is very important.
Mm-hmm.
If you're 250 pounds and you're calling that beautiful, it's.
And if you have like there's something in your genes.
If there's a glandular problem, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but what was it? I saw something the other day. Like, it is possible to make a healthy change in your life. Okay,
yeah.
And I think that's another thing the Concerned Children Advertisers made a point about. Maybe they must have made like a get out and get active thing. I remember they would always used to push daily physical activity when I was in school.
I actually was going to talk about one.
He's got an ad.
So it's called
Perfect
The Chase.
segue.
So it's called The Chase. The Chase
I remember
is the
that
one about the kids chasing after the ice cream.
Oh no, I'm thinking of the other one with where the guy's running away from the girls. Then you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, you know what? It may be that one. There were two that were very similar. Boy running away from three girls. Yeah, that's the one. There is ice cream. So they were the same year. They were basically about the same thing. So ice cream is about four kids having a conversation. They see an ice cream truck and they start chasing after it, and they start like running out of breath. They're not able to keep up with it or flag down the truck. And it ends with, you got to be physically active. Like, yeah, you got to be exercising, blah, blah, blah. If you want your treats, you got to be able to exercise and everything.
There you go.
And then, the one with the chase was a boy running away from three girls. He starts to feel tired, and he gets uncomfortable with them kissing him. So, I mean, we could have a whole conversation about how that ad would not play through now, but we're not going to.
I've already made a comment about fat acceptance. Let's not make this podcast. Let's not turn this podcast back at the end of the month. All right, let's not. Yeah, anyway. But man, these children's advertisers sure were more concerned than I thought they were.
They had their finger on the vein, and you know what? Back in the day when we would watch these, we go like,
yeah, whatever,
like whatever, blah blah. But now looking back at it, it's like, no, you know what? This was awesome. This was a really good thing. Yeah, it was a little cheesy, but
they were pretty woke,
Yeah,
but our 6-year-old minds are like, who fucking cares? It's like.
But then just the fact that we're even talking about this means that it subconsciously like made itself into our heads.
Yeah. At the same time, though, it's not like I don't want to say I was perfect. Of course, I watched television, but
yeah,
I did go outside all the time when I was younger, and now that I'm older, I'm like just kind of a basement dweller. I just sort of chill.
I feel that.
I just don't go outside as often. If I do, it's for work. I think concerned children's advertisers are really just trying to tell you subconsciously, in the subtext, it's like, go enjoy your childhood a little bit more, because you might not get a chance when you're older because of other, other
and,
circumstances
the
going
choices, on. And even the choices that you make when you're a kid can affect you as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a healthier kid, that means that you're probably going to be a healthier adult.
Right. Yeah.
If you're working that cardiovascular system as a kid by running around and everything, you're gonna have a healthier heart when you grow up, and that means that you're gonna have a longer, healthier life.
You're not gonna be. To be fair though, that one advertisement where the guy's running away from a bunch of chicks.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's a downfall. You couldn't escape the smooches of women. Was he gay, maybe, or was he just uncomfortable?
He was just.
We gotta look deeper into this.
We need to look deeper into this
another time.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, concerned children's advertisers were really like. I look back on it now. That's kind of like a. People remember the ads, but I think the actual
The
company
message kind
themselves
of
and the
went
messages that they were
over.
trying to deliver were like, you know what? This company is probably more important than we thought that they were.
Yeah.
Back when we were kids, because we thought nothing of it. We just wanted to go back to watching SpongeBob or whatever. But like
Yeah.
now,
Give me my reboot.
but now it's like, you know, okay, these guys were just trying to send a message and fuck, they were pretty good. But you know what my favorite is, and I think it's everyone's favorite because it lives in the recesses of the minds of every.
Well, I have one more
every-
that I want to talk about before we get to this one.
Okay.
It's Do Your Thing.
Do Your Thing. Yes. I remember that one fondly. It was almost the theme song to this
Well, I'm
show.
actually going to make it the theme song. I'm going to go in, get the clip, and just...
Well, disregard that last part then, because at that point you've already heard the theme song.
Yeah.
And that is from the PSA, Do Your Thing, or What's Your Thing? What's Your Thing?
What's your thing? Do your thing. Let me see
What's
what
your
I can
thing?
find
All right, it was
here.
What's Your Thing? And
What's your thing? Everybody's got a thing. Yeah, what's your thing? A commercial showing... This came out in 99.
yeah, so the year that
The
Duncan
year
and
that
I
we were born.
were plopped out onto this planet, that advertisement was also plopped out onto our television screens, and it's been airing. When did it air? You got the deets right there. Does it say?
It doesn't say when it aired or anything like that. It just says that it was
Regardless.
aired.
I
But
remember seeing it when I was like 3 or 4 years old.
I
as
think
well.
that one I think is one of the longer lasting ones, along with the final one that we'll talk about.
Right.
And Do Your Thing. What's Your Thing? Sorry, I have it written down in front of me as Do Your Thing. What's Your Thing? I think really hit home, and you know what? I think it's the one that did kind of make it into our subconscious.
Yeah.
Of not everybody's good at everything, but everybody's good at something.
Yeah. Well, the reason it sticks out the most for me is because I can't think of something more late 90s than that ad.
Oh yeah.
You know, and even
Aside from, you wouldn't download a house.
you wouldn't download a house. No, I'd say that's more early 2000s.
Yeah, the piracy commercials are early 2000s.
Because that's really when like the piracy boom started to happen.
You know what? I
But-
just noticed here. They did one more in 2012.
Oh, what was it?
So it's called Mental Wellness. It shows a man and a woman in a kitchen and their daughter sitting at the table. The woman reminds her husband that they will be seeing her parents. The husband declines to work, and the two begin to argue. And the wife, pointing out to the daughter, is in the room and not fighting in front of her. The husband immediately leaves the room in frustration. As the argument goes on, the camera pans to show the girl is in a classroom with a kitchen behind her. A female narrator then tells the viewer that 1 in 5 kids under 11 have mental wellness issues.
Damn. I can imagine that in my head too.
Yeah.
Because you know that's the kind of David Lynch shit that they really wanted to push across.
Yeah.
It's just like, just in the back of her mind is that just one memory that's now burnt into her subconscious, and she'll be
And-
thinking about it for fucking who knows how long, right?
Yeah, and that's like, it's the whole point of that one is like, that's going to stick in their mind. That's going to distract them from learning. That's going to
everything,
distract
you
them
know.
from developing. And blah,
Seeing any
blah.
parents argue is like, you know, fuck that, that'll stick with you. It's not pleasant because in your mind you're led to believe that these people love each other and they can do no wrong, but in reality people fight. You shouldn't take it out in front of your kid though.
No.
Yeah, that's not going to do
but I
any.
think
That's not going to do any
that's-
favors.
That's the thing.
Which
it
is the
doesn't
message
say
of the
where
ad.
it aired, but I'm really hoping that one that we were talking about aired more on like CTV, those types of
Nah,
things. Because I
that's-
know it's concerned children's advertisers, but the whole message is
too
more
risque.
to get towards.
It's too risque for YTV. It was definitely a Teletoon ad. We'll get more to that in coming episodes.
In coming
But
episodes.
we'll keep talking about concerned children's advertisers
Yeah.
and our favorite PSAs.
But yeah, what's your thing? I mean that one has gone to the point where it's a meme.
What's your thing?
With like Jared's cutting me in half again. My thing's sound effects.
Here's a T-Rex.
Yeah. Bugs.
Bugs. Did you watch this ad like 6 or 7 times or
No,
something?
this is all from memory.
Yeah, I really liked the way that it was edited. I thought
Yeah.
I thought it had a cool message too. It's like nobody's good at everything. So
Yeah,
No,
you
you
had skateboarding in there. You had what else did you have in there? You had skateboarding. You had karate. You had music of all sorts of different sorts. Remember the kids sitting at the back of the bus with the tuba?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
TTC. won't
just on
allow
the
that
back
now,
of the TCC with his tuba. It's like you're not gonna fit on there now.
No, definitely not. Man, fucking I want look, I was talking earlier, I want Concerned Children's Advertisers to remake that TV ad, but I want them to kind of go back and remake all of their classic ads.
Yeah.
With different meanings, all right? So whatever, you have the get outside and play, you have a kid, instead of watching a TV, it's an iPad or something. What's your thing? You should do a 20 years later, have all these kids growing up. It's like, what's your thing? It's like, I'm a software engineer. And then, why don't we segue into our, I think the one that we thought was easily the most iconic.
I think for most Canadian kids,
Right.
is the most easily iconic.
And the namesake of this show,
House Hippo.
House Hippos, the North American House Hippo. I don't remember it all by heart, but yeah, definitely one that is arguably the most recognizable and still popular to this day. Like Duncan and I did some research on it before we even conceived this podcast.
We were kind of going like, wonder how much like people really remember these.
Dude, T-shirts, stickers, hats, notebooks, patches, everything. None of which, by the way, are
Officially licensed merchandise.
It's
yeah.
all stuff that people are selling on like Redbubble or Etsy or their own fucking website. And it's like, wow, yeah, the North American House Hippo is a cultural phenomenon.
And I think part of that may have to do, I can't 100% remember this, but I think part of it also has to do with, I think this ad aired in the northern United States as well.
Right.
So that means that it even got into a U.S. market.
Probably, yeah.
As opposed to just a Canadian market.
I can see that. Yeah, getting aired in on Buffalo television or like just surrounding area, the surrounding northern states. Yeah, definitely. But I think it's the most memorable for the sheer absurdity of it. Mm-hmm. Because the effects at the time were pretty fucking believable.
Oh yeah.
Like my dumb ass was
what?
like,
that goes into, if you don't know which PSA we're talking about. One, what was your childhood?
What was it? You watched fucking Family Channel where they didn't run ads, didn't you? Good
Yes.
Lord. You were one of those kids growing up watching Hannah Montana.
Family Channel was the worst for society for the pure fact that they didn't have these PSAs.
Yes. If you watched Family Channel, it was numbing your mind. I'm sorry you had to sit through Zach and Cody for your entire like eighth year of elementary school, like grade 8 or whatever. Like, damn, that sucks. My God.
But
going back and watching Zach and Cody's tough, but that's another episode.
that's a whole other episode.
North American House Hippo.
But
though.
the whole point of it was to think about what you're watching and think about, is it real? Is this real? Is this something that actually is here? Or am I being lied to? Really think about what you're watching.
Do you know how you can adapt that to modern day? Fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news. That's it. That's all it is. It's like
it's just Alex Jones.
Instead of calling fake news, call it
the United States homosexual frogs.
No, call it a House Hippo article, because it's not real. But you probably believed it, didn't you?
Yeah.
When you were like 4. No, like it's believable enough. You know?
And every kid wished that they actually had a House Hippo.
If you see a janky news article, call it a House Hippo article. That's all I'm saying. Don't call it fake news.
Coin that term.
We're gonna coin it. All right. I was reading some House Hippo article on Vice, or the Verve or whatever, the Verge. House Hippo articles. That's it. All right. Copyright 2019. House Hippo podcast.
Get this into the zeitgeist. These are House Hippo articles. This is House Hippo news.
This is House Hippo news. We're making T-shirts. All right, we're making anyway.
So in other words, Justin Trudeau just did an Asian face.
That's House Hippo. I know for a fact it was Indian, but okay. Oh, we'll talk about that after the camera stops.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No, but I figured, that's it. That's a good way to coin the term. But no, man, like the effects were so good.
At the time,
On
yeah, it was
that
believable. Like,
goddamn ad.
all they did was
Well, even-
superimpose a video of a hippo onto another, like,
Yeah, but I think it was like they added film grain onto it
yeah.
and a sort of filter onto it, so that way you couldn't even notice the.
I'll tell you one thing, as somebody that does photo editing on the regular, film grain is the best way to blend different layers.
It really is.
It really is. So, yeah, it worked. It was like kind of and it was a funny advertisement in a way too, because they just talked about, like, you know, they treated it like
Hinterland's Who's Who's.
Hinterland's Who's Who. They kind of treated it like that, although Hinterland Who's Who was a little different. I remember seeing those growing up.
It was a lot more dry and a lot more like.
That wasn't really like so much a PSA as it was just kind of talking about.
Here's some facts about the birds.
Yeah, that was your regular dose of educational programming when you finish SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Or something. It's like, all right, well, fuck, we got to squeeze something in about nature. Here's a video of a peregrine falcon for 2 minutes, you know? It's like, yeah, North American House
Look
Hippo.
at this beaver.
North American House Hippo was kind of a jab, I think, at Hinterland Who's Who. Now that I think about it.
I think so.
You know, it was kind of just like a spoof of just some nature documentary.
Yeah,
It just,
but I think that's why it worked
Yeah.
even more.
yeah, of course. It was kind of a believable concept. You thought you were watching like a Hinterland Who's Who. Maybe they didn't directly use like the iconic theme song or any of the. I don't even remember. You should play the Hinterland Who's Who theme song right here.
Yeah.
Okay, now they know. But yeah, no, it definitely like. I'm astonished at how culturally relevant house hippos are today. It's kind of insane. It's like a part of Canadian culture there. What do you have? You got, you know, maple syrup, Tim Hortons, house hippos. That's
it.
That's the big three.
I think it's it. I think it's even surpassed the beaver.
Yes, the house hippo should be our national animal.
Yeah.
Fuck.
There we
It's
are.
fictional, but I think Scotland's is a unicorn. So
Ireland's.
I mean, Ireland's is the unicorn.
I'm pretty sure.
Fuck it. Why isn't ours the house hippo?
Let me check this.
I think it's Scotland, my man.
Hey Google.
Oh,
What's Scotland's national animal?
yep, folks. Duncan wiretapped his home.
Scotland's national animal is the unicorn.
I fucking nailed it. Come on. Why isn't ours the house hippo then? Come on. That's so perfect. It's a fictional creature.
Yeah.
Unless people from Scotland legitimately believe the unicorn is real.
I don't know.
And
I don't know.
Any-
You know what? I'll phone up some of my relatives.
yeah. Anyway, why don't we talk a little bit about some of the fucked up ones that we saw?
Some of the really fucked up
that
ones.
we saw about danger in the workplace. You know what I'm talking
boy.
about?
Well,
Do you
there's
remember
even.
Do you remember those three though that we watched about like?
Well, let me see what I can pull up for some messed up.
Well, no. Let's
ones.
talk about some of the ones we didn't watch these growing up. I don't know what channel these
No,
aired
you
on.
know what? In terms of being able to keep it to ones that we watched while we were growing up,
Okay.
Lose Your Head. The one
Oh
where the
my
kid
God! With the
throws
black
his-
kid, he throws his head. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was interesting. I remember seeing that once. I don't think I ever saw that again on television, until Duncan pulled that up the other day when we were doing research for this episode.
And you're like, ugh!
I was like, oh, no wonder they didn't air this again. Good Lord. You imagine
Oh,
the
God.
shock? I guarantee you, Concerned Children, that might have been the only ad Concerned Children's Advertisers
Oh, there's
got.
a couple here that.
Got complaints, though. I'm saying, like, parents called in
yeah.
or something and said, like, why are you showing that on television? That's not appropriate for children.
Yeah, I know. So the it's called Head. Let me see if I can bring it up here somewhere. So the whole point about this one, from what I can remember, I'm just gonna try and see if I can find. Here it is. Healthy Active Living. This was made in 2006.
Okay.
Shows a boy on his computer and grabbing a plastic container with his mouth. It ends with a text message saying, "Okay, they are skipping past the bulk
Yeah.
of this."
We need to talk about how he lost his head.
He literally pulls his head off and throws it across the room into the kitchen.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Now
And
that-
you know what
That is some David Lynch shit right there.
Yeah. And he pulls up, like his body starts walking over to the other side of the room. It's just like, make sure, Move your body at least 30 extra minutes each day. You know, get some food. Eat.
Yeah, I remember when I was younger, they tried pushing daily physical activity in schools and stuff like that. So, you remember that DPA? It's like, let's go out for 20 minutes and do some jumping jacks. Did you ever have to do that shit when you were in grade school? Or is that just me?
Well, we had phys ed in grade school
Right,
for
but
me.
you couldn't do phys ed every day with my school schedule
No,
for some
see,
reason.
the board had us doing phys ed. Was it every day or was it every other day? I can't remember. But I remember that it got to the point of like well, you also had recess.
Right,
And
but
then
who fucking did anything athletic at you know who did athletic shit at recess was the kids that played fucking hockey because they would actually bother to play soccer
Yeah.
at that point. It's like, well, I
or
don't have
mini
a rink.
sticks.
Huh?
I remember mini sticks being a huge thing at my elementary school. So it was mini hockey sticks.
Right, I
And you'd
remember
play
now.
like street hockey.
I guess. I
Yeah,
remember one of the
Foursquare.
Foursquare, sure.
Foursquare.
You know what I did?
Foursquare and Two Square got heated,
You
man.
know what I did? I played Yu-Gi-Oh. That's what I did. So, daily physical activity was kind of important.
yeah.
I they would it wasn't even daily physical activity. They would make us play like Heads Up, 7-Up in class. They just randomly
Yeah.
stop
I
the
don't
class.
know. My parents had me in enough extracurricular stuff that I didn't really have to worry about that too much.
Yeah. Was that
Um,
Concerned Children's Advertisers that did Lose Your Head? That was them, right?
That was them.
That was weird.
That was a really weird one.
These guys have advertisements going back to, I think, the early 80s.
No, just into the
maybe
90s.
Just into the 90s? Are you sure?
Yeah, just
I was
in
thinking
the
about
90s.
that one.
98, 97, 99, 97, 96,
thinking-
95, 95.
Come on,
93,
no.
91.
Okay, at least early 80s. They must have had something going on there.
No, they were founded in 1990.
Okay. Well, I remember JonTron did an episode about weird drug PSAs in one of our fucked up Canadian advertisements.
Couple of them.
Do you remember the puppet one?
Which one?
The ones with like the scary drug dealer that looked like Lou Reed.
Yes.
And the two Muppets that were just like, oh, we don't like drugs. Hey kids, you want some drugs?
And it's just he's got like pills and syringes and stuff like that, like glued to his hands.
And then he takes off his glasses. They're all like yellow or something like that.
he looks like he's got snake eyes.
Yeah,
It's like
that
what?
was yeah no.
Oh no.
These what?
I'm just reading more on the articles here and stuff like that. March 30th, 2017, the organization Concerned Children's Advertisers was permanently shut down because of a decline in business after almost 27 years of running public service announcements.
Duncan, do you know what this means?
What?
It's up to us to remake these advertisements.
It is us.
It is up to us to remake all of these Concerned Children's advertisements. All right, well, folks, we're definitely going to work on some of our own remakes. For
Of
sure.
PSAs.
Our own PSAs, but if you guys at home have anything you remember from your childhoods, any weird fucked up advertisements that have just resonated in your subconscious since you were like 4 or 5 or younger, send us a DM, leave a comment, and
Share this episode of the podcast.
share this
and
episode
say
of the
that's-
podcast. We'll probably get around to doing a part 2 because there were just too many advertisements that I might not have
Well,
seen
we've only
when I
been
was
going
younger.
for like a half hour.
Have we?
Yeah, we can keep on going a bit.
I'll be honest with you. I don't remember much.
Well, I'm pulling up.
Because that was
some
the
stuff
thing with
now.
commercial breaks, though, right? You don't really remember a lot of them.
Yeah.
I can't remember the fucking last commercial break I saw. That's bullshit. I can because my Fox News is for whatever playing in my house all the time, and it's all CPAP commercials. It's all Acorn Stairlift commercials, and it's all like, you should buy gold. Hi, I'm actor from the 70s. You remember from that show when the going was good and you could smoke in restaurants, and I'm here to tell you why you should invest in gold. Those are the kind of ads I remember now.
Oh my
because they're all
God.
boomer ads, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like I don't know. Concerned Children's Advertisers was kind of cool. I had no idea they shut down.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Oh.
Everyone watches Netflix now. You can watch your Baby Shark shows on YouTube.
Here we go.
Okay.
What do you do when you find a needle? Remember?
See, I never watched that one, but we did see
stumble
it the
upon
other
it.
day. Yeah.
And it's kind of weird.
Tell a teacher.
Was that such a thing of like, were there dirty syringes just littering the streets in the early 90s?
I don't know. There's dirty needles littering the streets where I work. So I've seen a couple syringes. I don't know what they're used for, but I always get freaked out when I see a syringe. It could be someone injecting insulin, fine. But it could also be heroin. Could also be black tar heroin. Anyway. But, no, you know, that one I didn't really remember seeing, remember too much from my childhood. I think that might have aired a little before I was allowed to stop watching
It came out
television.
in 91.
Yeah, so I wouldn't have seen that. They probably stopped airing that after a while. That one might have gotten pulled from circulation.
Let me see what I can find here. Here we are, Huffington Post. Let's see if we can jog our memories. Obviously, like, don't you put it in your mouth.
Well, that one is kind of a meme. That one shows
That one's
up
just a huge
in
meme.
a lot of weird top 10 drug PSAs that BuzzFeed will post.
Mhm.
I think the best line from that entire song is from the lion at the end. And I don't know why, it just fucking kills it. This line, don't put things in your mouth if you don't know what they are. Like, duh, fucking obviously I'm not going to put something in my mouth if I don't know what it is. The whole advertisement's weird, but this line sticks out. Because the guy this lion puppet just sums up the entire PSA in one sentence. Realistically, it could have just been that one sentence, and then it ended. And it would have been fucking funny as all
Don't
hell,
you put
too.
it in your
Just
mouth.
this lion looking at the camera, it's a lion puppet, has no, like, importance in anything. It's just some random generic lion from fucking nothing. Probably bought this puppet at a Toys R Us before they started filming this PSA. And this lion just turns to the camera and goes, remember, kids, don't put things in your mouth if you don't know what they are. Cuts to black, the logo for Concerned Children's Advertisers comes on screen. That would have been the entire ad. Instead, they made a song and dance out of it with these two Smurf testicles just fucking dancing around.
Don't you put it in your mouth, don't you put it in your mouth, don't you stuff it in your face, don't stuff it in your face.
That was weird.
I just found one. This is by Concerned Children's Advertisers.
Right.
It's simply titled Crack.
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 And it literally just says, have you ever wondered what a bag of crack looks like? And it's a body bag. It's just a body bag in a room. And that's it.
I feel like I've seen that one. Maybe. Okay. Wow, alright.
Have you ever wondered what a bag of crack looks like?
Dude, it's like they had everyone's fucking dad joke ass father writing for these, like,
You don't need to
ads.
know what a bag of crack looks like because you'll die.
Like, they were cracking wise. Like, all these PSAs were kind of just dad jokes, really.
How do I
You ever see what a bag of crack looks like?
how do I make sure that I don't end up, buying a bag of crack if I don't know what a fucking bag of crack looks like?
Can you imagine a body bag filled with crack? You know how expensive that would be? Good lord.
The drug dealers are finding new ways, new drug mules.
They'll never expect it.
Remember, if you fucking die, don't let the drug dealers get to you.
Remember, kids, if you do drugs, you'll go to hell before you die.
Die.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. PSAs, when we were growing up, were kind of weird. A lot of them memorable, a lot of them interesting, and a lot of them had a surprisingly long shelf life.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the Concerned Children's Advertisers PSAs, from what I'm reading, they just stopped getting airplay after, like, the 90s, but some of them fucking just persevered up until, like, the mid-2000s. And honestly, like, it's just, some of them are just cultural milestones now. Really. All I'm doing is reciting what we've been saying for the past 10 minutes, but it's true. All of these are still kind of culturally relevant. That's why we named the podcast House Hippos.
Yeah.
So that in 10 years down the road, hopefully, if someone Googles that advertisement, they stumble across this podcast.
Okay, 1 second.
Right.
I was Googling here, and in searches related to Canadian PSA, because I just searched that, we got Canadian PSA Kitchen, Banned PSA Commercials, Concerned Children's Advertisers Canada, 90s Canadian Commercials, Canada PSA Domestic Violence, Early 2000s Canadian PSAs and commercials, Canadian anti-drug commercial, PSA Canada
What are
card
these?
grading.
What are all of these?
These are searches related to Canadian PSA on Google.
Oh.
These are like suggested searches.
I thought you found like a YouTube like gold mine of just like hour-long playlists of all of these.
That's easy. That's easy to
That's
find. I'm
easy
just
enough.
looking for lists so that way I'm not playing stuff out loud.
Right.
We've got obviously Astar the robot from Planet Danger.
Apparently
that was before our time.
Apparently that one was a cultural phenomenon too. It's definitely a meme now. You ever see this advertisement, ladies and gentlemen? It's pretty fucked up. Duncan, if this goes on YouTube, I want you to just play this clip of me describing the ad, all right? So
Yeah.
basically you got this fucking robot, right? And he's like jumping around, doing some hardcore parkour. All of a sudden, his fucking arm comes off. Then at the end of the ad, he's just like, I'm Astar. They can rebuild my arm, but not yours. Be safe. That was for the war amps back in like the late 80s or early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
That was a Concerned Children's advertisements, but I remember that definitely shows up in a lot of these, like, even Cracked, I think, did an entire piece about it.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because I think that was a Canadian
They did
ad,
a second one.
They did Astar too?
Astar the robot from Planet Danger, number 2.
Danger.
Astar 2.0.
I am the danger. We're going to have to...
Yeah, Astar's costume was tossed aside for a much better, quote-unquote better, animated one.
Well, that's good. Because I don't know, like, you've seen the ad now.
Yes.
It's a fucking puppet, pretty much. It's like a costume. It's freaky. It looks like C-3PO's bastard child with the robot from Metropolis from the fucking 20s. I want you to pull up an image of both of those when you're editing and just, like, I'll Photoshop some family photo. It's pretty fucked up. Anyway. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I can't really think of anything else besides like House Hippos or...
Yeah, I'm seeing if I can quickly scrape together some drug PSAs, but no, I think all in all, like, it's such one of those really weird things that did like hit onto a nerve, onto a vein. Of our generation of kids in Canada, that it just subconsciously stayed there for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And it's an underrated part of entertainment.
Yeah, definitely. Like, PSAs are fucking awesome.
Okay,
And
so
it's a shame they don't make as many today. And the ones that are coming out today are kind of awful because they feel dated already.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Truth Orange. They're an anti-smoking, pretty much nicotine company.
Yeah.
And they have these awful fucking ads about vaping.
Yeah.
They're terrible. I recommend giving them a watch if you want to laugh for a little bit. But they are really fucking bad. And they already feel dated because they used to... Okay, even better. Even fucking better. They made an ad a couple of years ago about cigarette smoking. And you know who they got to be in this ad?
Who?
Literally... YouTubers and Vine stars that I barely remember. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, but I know.
So the video is called Right Swipe Dat. And it's a song about, like, if you see someone on Tinder smoking a cigarette in their picture, or left swipe it or right swipe. I don't fucking use Tinder, so I have no idea. It's probably called left Swipe Dat. But, like, PSAs aren't really as magical as they used to be. You know?
Except do we yep, official music video.
A music video.
It was a whole campaign.
Yep. Was it Left Swipe Dat?
Becky G, Left Swipe Dat, Genius lyrics.
Oh my god. There's a Genius page on it.
Yep, okay. Let me see. Yeah, okay, so who we got in the picture here just from what I can...
Well, I know
recognize
King Batch was a Vine star.
You got Harley from Epic Mealtime
guy
here.
was there, yeah.
Okay, featuring, here we are. So, you have Fifth Harmony, so all of Fifth Harmony. Harley from Epic Mealtime, Grace Helbig,
Maybe. I don't know.
and Alpha Cat.
Yeah, Alpha Cat was the guy on Vine. He was friends with that King Batch dude, and his gimmick was that he could impersonate Obama really well.
Yes.
If you've ever watched Epic Rap Battles of History, I'm
Yes.
pretty sure he played Obama. in a
No,
few of them.
Jordan Peele. Jordan
Really?
Peele played Obama.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
before they got big enough to get
Jordan Peele.
it was Alpha Cat.
Yeah.
But
what are they doing upstairs?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Anywho, but yeah, PSAs. I don't know. They're not as magical as they used to be.
There's some good, funny, dark ones out there now. I found one.
Okay.
It is Canadian. It's MTV Canada.
Okay. Blow me away, Duncan. I'm ready.
This MTV ad is a whopper. Not only will smoking cannabis make you gay, it'll make you incest.
This has to be fake.
Nope.
Bullshit.
I'm looking at it right here.
Fucking MTV made this? There's
Three
no
guys.
way.
3 guys.
3 guys.
Okay.
Sitting in a car in a parking lot, just smoking some bongs,
Right.
having some bowls.
Ripping a cone.
Yep.
Of course.
And one of them passes the bong back to the guy in the back seat. Then he starts looking at the guy in the driver's seat, and they just lean in and start making out with each other. Then they sort of
As you do.
yep.
As you do.
And it cuts to looking sort of in between them to the guy in the back seat that's sitting perfectly in the center in the back seat, and he's just like, "What the fuck is going on? What is this shit going?" And the 2 guys up front just go like, "What the fuck was that?"
And MTV aired this?
MTV aired this, and the tagline is, "If you're high, just don't drive."
Well, at least they were parked.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess the whole thing was they were trying to say if you're we don't care if you smoke because we're MTV, we're cool. Just don't drive when you're high. But at the same time, it's like you were just saying that getting high will make you
gay.
gay. Yeah.
I mean, maybe that was just their way of coming out to their friend.
yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, Chet and I here have been dating for 6 months. Hey, Bradley, would you mind clearing this for me? We got to kiss real quick. Okay, just to prove that we're gay.
Just to prove to you.
I'm not going to get in a bunch of nasty comments now about doing a gay voice. Oh dear. Anyway. No, man, I didn't watch MTV a lot growing up. Wasn't until I was
didn't
at least
either.
Wasn't until I was at least 11 or 12 years old, and even then, MTV from
Much was.
much was better because
Much
much
was
played
better.
music.
And also much was Canadian.
Of course. Much was our answer to the MTV. And I think for the most part today, they still play music videos,
Yep.
right?
They're still pretty good. They're still pretty good about it. They have the Much Music TV Awards, Music Video Awards.
Which is our answer to the MTV Music
I think
Video
they still
Awards.
do it in downtown Toronto every year now.
Yeah, probably right outside of the CTV building there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think, that's what they're all in that same building. Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm excited about this podcast. We get to talk about aspects of Canadian television that we really enjoyed, and you know.
I think it's a bit more chill because we're not trying to sort of be as energetic and stuff like that and trying to be funny. It's just talking about stuff.
Memories specifically.
Yeah.
What do we got there on the timer? By the
So
way?
we're about at 53 minutes,
53 minutes.
if we want to call it.
Right.
Maybe, yeah, you know what? All the other things that I want to talk, that I was thinking we could touch on this. They're not Canadian they're not Canadian PSAs. They weren't
Right.
exactly ones that were from when we were a kid.
All right, folks.
Yeah. So if you ever want to dive into the real weird world of PSAs, just do a quick Google search and you're not far.
Or even better, if you look at the link in the description here, we'll leave a playlist of all of our favorites.
Yeah.
Definitely give them a look if you got some time to spare. But on that note, thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best.
This has been the first episode of
the House Hippo Show.
Yeah, the House Hippo Podcast.
House Hippo Podcast.
I'm Duncan.
House Hippo Podcast Show. I'm Ethan.
And thanks for tuning in.
All right.
Until next time, be safe and
Stay alert.
stay
Stay alert.
And stay safe.